not allowed to swear anymore?
Oh,
is that a thing I can't do?
Oh, Engelman's already in the house. I love this.
Oh, good.
Well, you know it's a crazy day, and I'm not even talking about the Aaron Rodgers nonsense, the NFL free agency frenzy, whatever the hell's happening in that league. No, I'm not talking about another injured star player in the NBA either, as it's myself and Eric Lindquist here, but you know it's a day of madness. And no, I'm not talking about the 500-1 long shot that sits behind me at the Valspar that I'm sure we're going to talk out, but we have pulled Josh Engelman out of whatever he normally does Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, because it's not hang with us on the Odd Shop. So you must have done something on Twitter to be the catalyst and instigate Josh to the point now where he has to sit down away from his normal DFS / PrizePicks duties and come on over here and heckle us for the next hour.
I'm Josh. I don't watch any other content here at Stochastic, but here I am because something inspired me, the hate inside of me. Maybe I wasn't trying to make the perfect bracket. Maybe I was trying to infuse a little anger in the people. I think it was pretty effective because I have people asking for my head on Twitter based on these 8 people that we put together in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes off the top of our heads. I'm on a walk.
Yep.
I'm just like, all right, we'll throw them together. Awesome. And I made a little bracket, posted it.
One
and now
person. It's not
Twitter's
8 people,
burning.
though. It's one person.
Yeah.
It's your suggestion. I didn't watch Friends. So you had Friends as your friends growing up.
You didn't like Friends?
No.
Wow.
I'll tell you why I didn't like Friends. I was soured right away. Yeah, by the way, Chris Sawyer, let's not bury the lead. Ben, we need Ben here. As soon as Ben Raza can show up on this show, we'll have mayo and cheese covered hot dogs to eat because our
amazing.
5-leg parlay, Eric Lindquist, smashed on the Odd Shop on Friday. And that was
Let's
the truth.
go.
But yeah, we'll put
guys.
that aside real quick. It is bracket day. We talked about Friends. We'll talk about that a little deeper. We did hit the parlay, not the community parlay, but did we hit the community parlay as well? I thought we did.
Maybe on Friday you did. We did a show together last Wednesday,
you and I
Thursday.
thought did, right?
Yep, we hit one. We've hit 2 of them now together. 2 of the 3 days we've done the Odd Shop together. We've hit We've hit all 3. The community screwed up the one, and I called it before it even ended because I was like, "Do not take." It was somebody against the Lakers, and it was just a bad idea. Bad idea.
I think it was the Knicks.
Might have been.
I don't remember. No, that was
yesterday.
No. I don't remember. So we have a lot of stuff we're going to get to. This is going to be a very ambitious show with myself and Eric Lindquist because the two of us usually go off the rails immediately.
Yep.
Getting back on track is tough. Yep. We're going to try our best. That's our pledge to you. In return, we're going to ask what? You hit the thumbs up button, you subscribe, you tell the world as they populate and further populate the show to do the same thing. And yeah, Friday, I mean, we have some news, we have some information, we have a community parlay to build here, but before we even get to the brackets and all the stuff today, Eric, on Friday, we used a tool here, the Parlay Builder. We had Chris who was producing, Mike's producing today. We just went over to the Parlay tool and said, all right, just give us what's on there. Just no analysis, nothing like, just give us the 5 legs that are there. We took Sochan off because he was banged up and put Jokic in there. He went over and it was like that. All 5 hit. All we did was use the tool.
That's fantastic. And that's the beauty of it. Because again, everybody's at work, everybody's doing their day-to-days, and it's awfully nice, even for somebody like me who's doing, DFS research in addition to the betting research, everything else. It's nice to have a tool that creates winners from the get-go. It is a market-based approach. It is fantastic. Truly, one of the coolest tools, period, where you can literally find 3, 4, 5 legs and instantly have something that's positive EV. Like, that it's positive EV based on the way every other market, if it were inefficient, we would be meeting that market even worse. So we know that these are the best plays you can get day-to-day basis.
We'll give you a week off and you can play parlays for days. You can use the tool for PrizePicks, No House Advantage, which we're going to do later on. Solo plays. We'll take your suggestions, all of that. We'll give you a free week. It's below. We do have a couple of things to get out of the way because I'm really excited to get to our bracket, right?
Yes.
The one that
our bracket, the bracket
OddsShopper
of destiny, if you will.
Absolutely. Because I know it's going to have a lot of people upset, right?
Yep.
So we can at least start there. But we have news, we have notes. Mike already wants to get to this thing here. Let's get here's the thing. Let's get the community parlay up for people to vote right away. Okay. Because you're going to have 4 options of heavy favorites tonight to put that up. Michael put that up. And we also just have some news and information that we want to get to as well. Is it a pain in the ass for you to do those 2 simultaneously, or can you put the screen up and then the poll, or whatever you want? Put the poll up. Okay. So Mike's going to put the poll up. That's fine. And your idea here was just to give people 4 favorites, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, everybody does these bracket challenges come this time of year. And I was like, well, we should put our own spin on it. You and I like to talk pop culture. Every time I've come in on your radio shows, anytime we jump in anywhere, we usually go down that road for about 15 minutes and then we bring it back to sports. But just thought it made sense to fire up something fun, something that we could do throughout the entire week. And the OddsShop bracket binge, everybody's binging on these brackets. Best supporting actor on a sitcom. Thought it was like a nice little tester to see where the market was, if you will, across the entire Twitterverse and then here in the YouTube comment section. But we took 8 plays. We have 8 supporting actors that we put together, 1 through 8. Think we did a decent job as far as just identifying what your top shows would be. Had some contrarian takes, had some hot takes for sure. I mean, the fact that we picked Lisa Kudrow from Friends is apocalyptic, apparently, that we would go Phoebe. But Kramer and Kudrow, the fact that we went 1-2 with them has been a little bit of a talk of the town, if you will, for the last half hour. So excited to explore what everybody else thinks. We'll give you guys those challenges as we go across. But first, we got to get that community parlay together.
Which it is. It's up there by all means. And
Beautiful.
Josh is already fighting the gender description.
Oh, my God.
Splitting hairs. Actor has always been a gender neutral term.
Correct. But apparently people in North Carolina don't have that opinion. So there you go.
Y'all got them moving pictures up north? That's what I'm saying, man. He doesn't know about that. That's all. All right, let's look at this poll. It's out there. 4 favorites. Pacers -3.5, Warriors -4.5, Bucks -2, Grizzlies -1. That is your leg out there. Do you have your leg? We'll put this up for people coming up before we get out of here. Do you have your leg?
I do.
You want to give it out?
Yeah.
The third leg?
-1.
Memphis -1. All right, so that's on there. What happens if somebody chooses it? You can't double.
They choose it such as life. If they go the -1 route, the Keegan Murray under I took yesterday, it opened at 10.5. It was -105 over on DK. It's now to 9.5 with even juice on both sides of it. Probably don't want to be going there at this point in time. So if Memphis gets covered by the community, I will hit eject on it. I have another play for you, but either way, I think Memphis -1 is just fantastic stuff.
Now, shout out to our guy FK Coolers in the Discord, because I put out a play that I'm going to stick with here, which is Dallas. Now, I boosted it, but that's fine. I'll take them normal. It's not Dallas in the NBA. He thought it was Dallas in the NBA, and he was like, all right, here we go. We're going to go head-to-head on this show. I'm just taking Dallas on the ice. All right, the Stars on the ice on the road versus Seattle. It's a money line play, -125. Just win, baby. I don't care if it's regular, overtime, shootout. They already beat them in overtime. It's a second thing. This is not the NBA. All right, hockey, you gain momentum. You know that, coming from a place where all you do is play hockey. It's 9 months a year.
Yeah, and I never did it. So there you go.
Well, you played a better sport. No argument there. All right, so those are our, we'll get your thing up there as well. Before we get to, I know you're waiting to get to this bracket. Before we get to the bracket, and part of me is just keeping Josh at bay because he's ready to fire at you, my friend. We have news, we have notes, we have information. Some of the stuff is coming down in the NFL, right? You look around, Jimmy Garoppolo was signed. It's really now just a formality for Aaron Rodgers. We do have some NBA stuff, some news and notes to look at as well.
We do. It's going to be wild. Again, the NFL stuff has been insane. The fact that the Raiders parted ways with Derek Carr in order to give Jimmy Garoppolo over $20 million a year. I get that he's cheaper than a Lamar Jackson or something of that nature, but you've made so many moves to try to upgrade your weaponry around it. The fact that they wouldn't even give like an offer sheet to a Lamar Jackson or something of that sort, where then the Ravens can come in and match it and do things of that nature. And then they get 2 first rounders, I suppose. It would be in the AFC. Maybe that's part of why nobody's wanting to tango with the Ravens. I think that has more to do with it than like people's apprehensions about a 26-year-old former MVP. But I don't know. I think the NFL has just gone batshit crazy here lately. We've got Mike White now with Miami. We've got Austin Eckler asking for a trade, who actually is a running back who matters in the NFL. Yep. Not many do. But when schematically you can catch passes as well as he's proven to be able to, that's such a big piece. And now we're seeing the Chargers be a tiny, tiny bit devalued. We saw Jalen Ramsey go to Miami. Nothing changed with Miami's Super Bowl odds. Hasn't changed whatsoever. It's actually 25-1 now over at DK. I saw it was 30-1 yesterday. So that has changed in the aftermath of Jalen Ramsey. Sounds like they're the front runners maybe for Derrick Henry as well. So lots to get to in the NFL as well.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're right on that. And I was curious, if I gave you 4.5 might actually be too much. If I gave you 3.5 weeks over under Mike White starts for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, man. I mean, what is this about Tua Tagovailoa? He's doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu to learn how to fall correctly. It doesn't seem like the...
There seems to be some sort of issue with protecting the quarterback's head for this head coach and the guy that he left in San Francisco.
No, but I'm saying that's what. Yeah. There's that weird thing that's going around where Tua Tagovailoa wants to learn how to fall properly, so he stops whipping his head back. It is kind of strange that he's had the same issue where he falls back and just his head whips down and does it that way. Happens with a lot of quarterbacks nowadays where, you know, they're protected to a crazy amount, but once they get it out of the pocket, they are very aware that they are allowed to get smacked in some of those situations. And there's not a lot that is protecting them until they get out of bounds. So I don't know. I would probably take the under because I think Tua is your de facto starter there no matter what. Even if they get off to a struggling start of some sort, I bet they hang with him there for a while, but Mike White is a good insurance. He is a good insurance policy. Having a backup, a solid backup quarterback is one of the most underrated parts of an NFL team. So many times we've seen backups win Super Bowls. I mean, your Super Bowl team was all because of a backup quarterback getting hot. Teams don't have as much tape on them come towards the end of the season. So having that ace up your sleeve, if you will, definitely an effective part of playing NFL football.
Yeah, I mean, there was also the top 3-1 rotating defense each and every week. It was an accomplished defensive coordinator. It was one of the deepest offensive lines in the NFL that year. But you're right. It was all the backup quarterback by all means. All right, let's hit some news and information.
Special makes me cringe every day of my life.
We have to. I'm surprised that's not like a trademark cheesesteak here in Philadelphia, that people aren't selling that shit. All right,
it'd be a trash can is what it would be. They'll serve that to you on a hot dumpster.
Look, I'm pro Philly, but I'm anti cliche no matter where that is. All right. So Luka's out.
So good thing we're doing a bracket challenge.
Well, that's the most cliche thing you can be. That's the
I know. That's what I'm saying. Mr. Contrarian over there.
All right, anything that really we know Halliburton out. Okay. Jordan Clarkson was hovering a little bit, but he's out. That's pretty big for this game with Utah. Luka, we knew. Kyrie, I don't know where you're looking at him trending or playing or not. And then if it moves the needle for you at all, which it doesn't, Kyle Lowry is back.
Yeah, well, Kyle Lowry played 36 minutes on Saturday. That's a lot of minutes right out of the gate. That was a little surprising to me for sure. Didn't really do a lot other than run around. His offensive efficiency numbers have just taken a plummet this season. Well, this entire year has just kind of been an outlier. He turns 37 in 2 weeks, which is pretty wild to think about. But his offensive rating over on dunks and threes, he's gone to like a 68th percentile offensive player with a negative sign in front. That is a stark contrast from all of his previous seasons, but he's getting older. Plays the point guard position in the NBA. He's a 6-footer who, you know, if that shooting just falls off a cliff like it has, a 50.5% effective field goal percentage, he's just not all that important. He's not going to move any kind of a line for me in any direction. So I think that's pretty negligible. Kyrie Irving matters a lot. So Kyrie Irving, we're going to be covering from a DFS perspective in future shows here at Stochastic here over the course of the next couple hours. But from a betting perspective, for me, that Memphis -1 line is just a little bit wild to me because you definitely, that is a middled line beyond a middled line right now. I think Kyrie Irving more likely not to play. They need to win basketball games there. The West is so stacked up from like 6 to the 10 seed right now that you need to find some position. And right now, the Dallas Mavericks just really in a spot where they need to win. So if Kyrie can play, he will play. It's just that Luka's already out. I don't think Kyrie's very healthy here at the moment either. I think he probably ends up resting. You probably get a healthy dose of Jalen Hardy and Tim Hardaway Jr. Who wouldn't want to watch that? So yeah, again, Memphis with that defense, with all the pieces there. Tyus Jones playing very serviceable, backing up John Morant in his absence here. One of the best backup point guards in the NBA, if not the best. Absolutely love Memphis tonight.
Over under 3.5 before Mike White starts.
3.5. Now you're getting closer.
I'm going under. Now the odds are going to be in our favor.
I'll still go under. Yep. Again, you're paying $8 million the next 2 years to have one of the best backups you could probably have in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it is.
Look, we went from Josh Engelman breaking down the semantics of actor to now breaking down the semantics of a situation comedy, insisting that Entourage, which, look, a sitcom has to be funny, doesn't it? That's probably why Entourage wasn't put in there in the first place. Oh, no.
See, now you're just fishing for it. Like this is just absolutely fishing for Josh Engelman to blow up. Like you're casting out a line, my dude.
Oh man. Hey, by the way, we just talked about
he won the Emmy 3 times. Yeah, he's fantastic. Again, Ari Gold, if you consider Entourage a sitcom, if we're going to put it in that category, yes, he would definitely be in your top 8.
It's on YouTube somewhere, but I interviewed on a show I did here in Philly. I interviewed Jeremy Piven with the 2 other guys I was doing it with.
Great drummer. I've seen him drum before. I've never seen a band. Go ahead.
No, if you'd like to tell the story, go ahead.
No, you finish up your story. I was just saying that I've seen him drum. He's a talented dude.
You want me to finish my story so you can come right in and say, hey, you know what? I saw him drum.
Shut up.
I'm not falling for that trap. Now you're not going to hear my story about Piven.
I pulled a Mike Lawrence. Forgive me. Continue.
No. Let's go to the tool. As Mike brings the tool up, so I had, and we can see just the top plays on the board. We can shop bets, all bets, that's fine, and just see what pops out from an XROI standpoint. I'm just curious, we can show people and give them an idea of what we have here. I interviewed Jeremy Piven, though, real quick, and I do want to hear the drummer story, but all right, we'll hit OddsShopper up. That's fine. Is that easier?
Finish your story, for the love of God.
Oh, the Emmy. That's right. The bought and sold award shows to validate performance. No. Nothing pushes that harder. All right, let's look at this here. Now you've got futures. Let's put futures aside. The one that jumps out for tonight that you can see. Yeah, Joey B saw that with Piven, where I had my kid there, and Piven was like, "Is that a baby? Are you interviewing me with a baby?" So we have a couple here. Xavier Tillman. How about that? PRA under 21.5. This is a market-based approach. So Xavier Tillman, THT, those 2 plays really jump off the map. Jimmy Butler as well jumps off the map. You're paying a little bit more. But what this means is that this tool is going through the market right now and finding an advantage, finding a discrepancy, finding either a small little area for you to exploit or a large area for you to exploit. But as Eric Lindquist mentioned at the start of the show, these are plus EV bets because they are positive ROI on a return.
Yeah, I look at the Xavier Tillman one. That's pretty fascinating. He didn't close out the game. A lot of what we do in DFS is we try to figure out what those closing lineups are going to be. They ended up closing this identical matchup in Memphis with Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones, and David Roddy. They ended up going very, very small ball there. If Christian Wood isn't going to be on the floor, because apparently they just hate him at this point in time, he only played 15 minutes even without Luka Doncic, which I thought was pretty wild. I thought that they might need some scoring out there. He is so defensively defunct that they just are opting to go the other direction there. They ended up going small themselves. Dwight Powell didn't even end up closing that game. They kind of forced the issue there, made a run towards the end of that game because they were down pretty big there, I think, going into that fourth quarter from what I remember. I really do think that Xavier Tillman finds himself in a spot where he's not going to close. It's the same matchup, same spot. So generally, I think Tillman, in the absence of Brandon Clark, has seen a surge in minutes, but certain matchups like the Golden State matchup 2 games ago, and apparently this one too, with the way that Dallas is configuring their lineup, there's always a chance that the second time around you change things up a little bit, but we're talking about a 55% expected win percentage. We're talking about standard juice, 21.5. I have it underneath that as well. I think the tool is really, really finding a decent play there.
By the way, you might as well push the chat to vote elsewhere. It's like that Chick-fil-A commercial. Eat more chicken, right? With the cows up there.
Yep.
You better start selling 3 other teams because
Memphis is it.
Dominating.
All right.
Now,
well, I like it.
notes.
See, this is okay by me because I have another play for you. Again, we'll throw it out there for the community parlay, but yeah, I'm okay with having a play that I already like, having the public be behind it.
All right, just letting you know. We just gave you 2 right there. We told you about the parlay that smashed away on Friday. We'll give you another parlay or 2 before we get out here. Don't worry. This is a week free that you have below to use this market-based approach. And again, it's done all the work for you. You don't need to think about anything. It's just beating the market, sometimes by a lot, sometimes by a little, but it's plus EV. Now, somebody's upset. I don't know who, but somebody is upset. All we tried to do was have a little fun because the brackets are around the corner and you probably have already been inundated with the best toppings for pizza or the best mob movie of all time or the best Tom Hanks role of all time, which is the stand-up comedy movie with Sally Field, by the way, Punchline. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I have to go deep cut for you because you'll call me out on some surface shit. We put together
Saving Private Ryan, but that's fine.
Look, I just don't think he was ever the most memorable person on screen in Saving Private Ryan. Just don't think he was. I think everybody else was more memorable than him. The sniper was more memorable than him.
Oh my God.
I'll go full Chris Russo on you.
Just taking Vin Diesel out from behind, just night.
The sniper.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Castaway. Here we go. This is the what do we call this? What are we going to name the East and the West brackets, Lindquist?
I don't know. Well, we have like Seinfeld side 1 and Seinfeld side 2, and I don't like either of the Seinfeld choices because I'm not a Seinfeld guy.
Seinfeld in here, didn't we take the other one out?
We have 2. We put Kramer and Costanzo. Yep,
I can understand people being upset. By the way, shout out to EMAC. I stand corrected. He was better in Volunteers than he was in both of those.
That's actually
all right. I haven't
seen that movie forever.
This is the Ari Gold. You know what we'll do? We'll name the brackets for the forgotten ones. All right.
Got it. I love that. The Ari Gold bracket where he's not even in it.
Yes.
And then the Barney Stinson side of the bracket because we apparently royally effed up and went Marshall over Barney, and apparently Adam that made him all butthurt. So let's but Ari Gold and Barney Stinson. There you go.
Yeah, by the way, Kevin Bloomfield brings up a great honorable mention. Arthur from King of Queens, Frank Costanza, who was fantastic, by the way, as Arthur, and a different role than that. All right, so I don't know. Who knows, Josh? All right, we don't know what we're doing. All right, welcome to the Odd Shop. Nobody has a fucking clue what's going on here. We're winging it for an hour.
I got it. 1 versus 8. You got to put them in. Kramer and Charlie. Let's go.
All right.
1 and 8. Fire it up.
Thing. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has a massive cult following and has been successful. But
when I did the thing, when I'm Charlie Day.
Yeah, the problem, though, for me is that this is not a slam dunk. I think this is a heavy sweat right to the end. Charlie Day has actually done a lot or something outside of It's Always Sunny.
It's true.
Movie where they had to kill the boss or they killed the boss. What was the name of that?
Well, yeah, and Kramer got canceled. So there you are. I would be going the Charlie Day side. And even though like Charlie Day isn't, he's not my favorite character, whatever. The Nightman Cometh, that episode alone of Always Sunny, I think it's like the season finale of season 2 or 3. It's one of the 2. But to this day, I remember watching it for the first time. And I remember just tiny boy, little boy, I love you. It's the greatest episode of Always Sunny. And I don't think it's remotely close.
Horrible Bosses was the name of that. Charlie Day was hysterical in that movie. I think that he is fantastic. We've only had this happen one time, right? In the history of the tournament. UMBC.
Yep. 1 versus 16. I mean, this is 1 and 8. So yeah, we're condensing it. Maybe we try to go to 16 with more prep time But again, this was jotted together, as Josh so eloquently pointed out.
Look, I'm willing to go Charlie here as a
I went Charlie.
Massive upset out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. I went Charlie. Kramer's on a different level. I'm not saying Kramer isn't great, and I'm not saying Seinfeld isn't great. It's just not my favorite sitcom ever. I like Veep more, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think, is just so much better in that show, because most actors get better as you get older. You just simply become more refined at your craft. Yes, actors, Josh Engelman.
Can we get, like, Mike, can you send Josh a link? He's clearly not doing anything right now. It's not like Josh is putting together a PrizePicks video and then subtly just typing at us right now. He's got nothing going on. Send him a link. I would love to hear his thoughts, because it's Team Lindquist.
I don't like these thoughts.
It's Engelman versus the world right now. And
it's really good he's not on this show right now, because this would prevent him from getting any future employment today. This would be the end of the line for Josh.
By the way, the poll is up. All right, we'll come back to this before we get out of here. We have 3 more to get to. Seinfeld Kramer is running away as expected, so it's not us who determine this. You. All
right, so Kramer moves on.
Most likely we'll move on, unless, we'll keep this up for a couple more minutes or so. Let's go back, though, if we can. Mike, let's go to the Parlay Builder, because this was massive on Friday. And I just want to, Eric's got a smash play. I've got a smash play. We'll build some stuff with NHA and PrizePicks for you out there. But let's go back to the Parlay Builder. We can go to, I know you're on PA, right? So let's go to DK. Yep. That's probably the easiest right now, this purpose as well. And I mean, right away, I have 5 up here. It's a plus 2204 parlay with a 22% expected ROI and a 5% expected win. This is exactly what we did on Friday. We didn't even build it. The tool built it for us, and we said, all right, let's roll.
Yeah, I like the Jimmy Butler one is just awesome. I think under 0.5 threes.
I don't have Butler.
I mean, he's pulling his version lately of who was it? DeMar DeRozan from last year. Where it's just like mid-range, or in this case, just be, whatever. He's just
all right. Sorry, that's BetMGM. So I was on DraftKings. So I'm back with you on BetMGM. So Butler, we stay with Butler.
Yep. Butler stays there. Yep.
I mean,
for BetMGM.
Are you going to take anything out right now? There's nothing we can go to from an XROI standpoint.
So the Trey Lyles one freaks me out a little bit. Okay. And again, this is where the Keegan Murray thing comes in, why I like the under of 10.5. And I like seeing that moved to 9.5 after I bet it last night. It's now to 9.5 at PrizePicks too, where I get a lot of my action at. But Trey Lyles, 9.5, we're talking about plus 100 thrown in there. I don't know what to make of what happened in that Phoenix game. It's a 1-game sample size, but they beat a good Phoenix team on the road here. Seemed to have some good synergy going against this Milwaukee team. Again, Trey Lyles ended up playing over Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray got absolutely baggled, only played 15 minutes in that game. I assume he's still going to be in the starting lineup, so that's not what it is. But it feels as though they're getting a little bit more comfortable going to that Monk, Trey Lyles type situation off the bench and getting closer down to the end of games with Keegan Murray off the floor. Yeah. And it's not just the 1-game sample, but there are now times where he's played 20 minutes against Minnesota, 26 against the Knicks. It seems like if he doesn't get off to a decent start, they're pulling the hook pretty quickly on Keegan Murray. I don't know what to make of that long-term here. Again, I don't want to overreact to 1 game, but if Trey Lyles is going to be playing more, I don't want to be tangoing with that under 9.5.
All right, so we can take Lyles out right now. Let's see, Milwaukee at Sacktown, and go De'Aaron Fox under 6.5 assists.
Yes, I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one more than I like going to the Trey Lyles side. That's for sure. And Tari Eason there, over 5.5 there for him, expected win percentage of 59%. You're getting another iteration of this lineup for Houston, where it's going to be Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green that are doing a lot of the work there. It's a team that's just gotten a lot healthier, but now Tari Eason, pretty not established. He is a first rounder from last year as well. Gets talked about a lot less than Jabari Smith Jr. And Tari Eason's been just great. We think of him more of a defensive profiler, but looking at some of his minute allotments the last couple, he only played 21 against Chicago, but otherwise has been playing upper 20s, low 30s minutes pretty routinely, even alongside Jabari Smith for some of these games. So that's at least one to keep in mind as well.
All right, and again, hit us up with anything you have here, and we'll go through some solo plays for you. But that's it, right? I mean, this is now a plus 1792 parlay. You're okay with this?
Yeah, I basically took two takes where it's like two things that I'm just a little bit less certain about. And it's a difference of like 2% of expected ROI. And I feel exponentially better about the parlay that we put together. Yeah, the expected win percentage came down about 1%, but that is still a 15% expected ROI play. Putting those all together, I really, really like that. Or 12% expected. 11% expected.
Well, yeah, but hold on. Why are you down to 4?
Oh, because I put 5 legs. I put the smart Eason, Tillman, Akogi, Butler, and then there was one more that was there that is not in there. Fox. There we go. We need Fox in there.
Fox might be done. Okay. Fox is down to 1% for me, so I'm going to take him out too.
Oh, okay.
Mike's on it. I'll just you can keep what you have in there. That's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That works. All right.
Love it.
No, that's it. That's 5 right there. All right. Let's take a mental screenshot now. On Friday, the proclamation was once this hits, and apparently I said I was going to be involved in this. I thought it was just Ben, but there's supposed to be hot dogs covered with mayo and cheese sauce eaten as a result of that parlay hitting. What are you going to put up for the people? Like, what would you sacrifice for the people here?
Oh, I've done dumb shit. I've done dumb stuff in my life. I'll think about it. I'll think about some food kind of item that I'll eat or do, something of that nature.
What can you? I asked this to Ben. What could you eat? What is the most of what you could eat in 60 seconds? 90. If I gave you 60 seconds, what could you eat?
Pizza or tacos? I could probably eat 4 Taco Bell tacos in 60 seconds.
I love it. So if this,
I could get close. Actually, three. I don't want to oversell it. 3 I could do in 60 seconds.
All right, perfect. So there it is. If this parlay, and I'll join with you like I did with Ben, because I'm going to have to eat this shit, I guess. And Ben's going to be on with us on Wednesday. So you don't have to wait until Wednesday. If this parlay hits, both Eric and I will eat 6 Taco Bell tacos in a minute. All right?
Booked.
6 for you, 6 for me.
Yep. Just hard shells. Hard
3
shells.
Of those. Yep. Are those easier to?
Yeah, they're more palatable. Yeah.
Okay.
The soft shell tacos just feel weird to me. I don't know. I like the crunch. I need the texture.
Got it. Okay. Just curious. There we have it. Now it's out there for everybody. Okay.
Who's winning the 4-5 for the poll? Dwight just smashing Jason Siegel's face in.
Yeah. Now the only real criteria we used here was that it can't be a star. So that's why Barney is not on here. That's why Ari Gold or whoever the fuck on that show isn't on here, right? Like you can't
tell me how you really feel.
You can't have a star as a supporting actor or actress. It has to be Bob Hoskins. Okay. That's all. Who's the Bob Hoskins of sitcoms? That's probably the easiest way to put it.
Agreed. That is a good way of looking at it. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. What else would you like to do today? We should build on No House Advantage and Prize Picks. I do want to go back to the tool because stuff updates.
Do some Prize Picks.
Okay. Because you've been all on that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, real quick. We're going to go to Prize Picks, but I just wanted to go back to the all bets if we can, because some stuff changed here. So you can sort PA is fine. ROI. We did have one that jumped up. Jimmy's still there. Al Horford under 19.5. There are 2 that at the 4%, both in the same game here. Al Horford under 19.5 PRA has a 4% positive XROI, along with the Jaylen Brown under 6.5 rebounds. So the market right now on DraftKings has found some wiggle room here for both of these bets, Lindquist.
Yeah, I think that they look great. Again, that's pretty clear cut. When the tool identifies it, it is truly a market-based approach. You're piecing together the best possible plays based on that approach. And there's nothing that I can really add to either one of those. It's a team that's perfectly healthy now at this point in time. Robert Williams being the only piece that's been in and out. This line too is just insane. We're talking 12.5, 13. I think that's where some of the unders are probably projecting out even a little bit better, where there is real blowout potential. We try not to say, we're not going to predict a blowout here, but there are a lot of iterations of this game where Boston's up 20 playing their scrubs in the last 6 minutes. So I think some unders definitely make sense.
All right. And then you have, as far as just the tool itself, dictating for sure what you have. Al Horford there as far as one of the top plays that we had. All right, let's hit. Is this PrizePicks then? Are we on PrizePicks?
Oh, yeah, okay. PrizePicks now. Let's fire.
Yeah. That's fine. The other ones were solo, like the Al Horford and Jaylen Brown are going to be solo plays that we have identified. Actually, Jaylen Brown just moved. That's on Bet River Sugar House. So you can attack that under 6.5 at -112. Al Horford -115. And again, this is right now, right? This stuff can change in 10 minutes. This stuff can change in 3 minutes. It can change in 30 seconds. So it can change as we're doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Tommy's definitely getting the short end of the stick here. I voted for Tommy on this one.
I did not. Lisa Kudrow's fantastic. Again, that I understand we could have the Joey case. I know that was Adam's big gripe, was that it could be Joey. Joey's relationships with the other characters are so important to making Joey, whereas Lisa Kudrow is kind of independent of anything. She's truly capable of like carrying specific scenes where she's just not even like listening to anybody, and it's all her just being insane. And I think Joey also has to be penalized for having a terrible, god-awful, no good, very bad sitcom called Joey that could not carry itself.
Yeah, that might be the next day's bracket, which is spinoffs, right? Either best or worst spinoffs, because Joey might be a 1 seed in a group of 64. Joey might be a 1 seed as far as worst spinoffs of all time.
My God.
It's a long ways.
It's really bad. I tried to rewatch it a couple years ago just to sit down and be like, what went wrong? And it was so bad that I couldn't even get through like 3 episodes.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah. Can you even find it anywhere on Peacock, buried in the bottom of the feed now or something?
No, I have no idea. No idea.
It's probably on YouTube free now at this point.
Good, as it should be. It should be all the way there at the bottom. All right, let's hit it, man. You've been red hot on PrizePicks. So this is Eric versus, well, it's not versus, I shouldn't say that, but you have done your own hard work here. And if you just, here's how I would sell our OddsShopper premium parlay builder for PrizePicks. This is how I would sell it. All right. Hey, I'm Eric Lindquist. I just won thousands of dollars over the last 2 days, putting together 8 to 10 hours of work each day and making money for everybody else. I want to take a night off, but I still want to win on PrizePicks, right? My brain wants to just take a night off, but I still want to win on PrizePicks. Let me go check the OddsShopper premium tool and have it build a PrizePicks parlay builder for me. Is that kind of an accurate feel for you?
It can be simple as that. I mean, there's been a couple of like, I'm not a big live bettor, but I will say when certain games, when so Jalen Brunson got hurt in that Knicks game. He ended up sitting out the second half against Sacramento. And I just jammed a bunch of like $20 6-pick cards where it was quickly and a lot of overs because the game got close as the third quarter went on. And the projections didn't change for that fourth quarter. And it was kind of projected to be a blowout. So everything sat too low. And I just jammed a bunch of overs, ended up winning about $1,600 on that just from 3 $20 cards, which was pretty wild, or 4 $20 cards. One of them that didn't quite get there went 5 of 6. But for the most part, there are live edges that you can have there as well. I also think that they don't react to news the same way books do at this point in time. And that's one of the best reasons to be playing at PrizePicks on a day-to-day basis. Josh Engelman, while he's an absolute dunce cap when it comes to assessing sitcoms, he's an absolute genius when it comes to assessing PrizePicks. You should be checking out his video on the OddsShopper channel every single day as well. In addition to checking out the tool, if you do those two things every single day, I think he's on like a 24-8 run here at this point in time. I think that's what it said in the description. It's wild how good he's been at assessing this stuff. Really clean interface that he put together for it. Be checking out those videos because the combination of the tool plus Josh's video, it's almost impossible to have losing cards these days.
It's amazing to hear that. And that's why we want to give you a week free just to check this thing out. And if you are looking at the individual plays and thinking, well, that's a lot right here, I'd rather just play some parlays, or man, I'm only on here for the PrizePicks, whatever it is, that's fine. We got you. you can still go here, use the tool, and then follow along if it's Eric or Josh's videos that we have across the board for Prize Picks, whatever it may be, or your plays, what have you, Josh's videos. Make sure you're checking that out because we're constantly giving you nuggets, ways in which you can beat Prize Picks, and clearly these two guys have been doing that. The tool is just going to give you a nice, easy flex play, which you should be running these 5-6 leg flex plays, in here. And that's what we have, man. So we have a nice, easy 6-leg, no matter where you go, what state you're working on here, Prize Picks, it'll give you this play here, which is Murray. I mean, again, you go through these. You even have a couple of shots on goal worked in there. You don't even need to know how to pronounce these guys' names. And you know that it's a plus EV leg.
Yeah. I like the Taylor Horton-Tucker assists over 5.5 sitting there as well. Miami, yeah, slower matchup, but Taylor Horton-Tucker playing the line share point guard minutes there. Pretty decent spot. He's just a box score stuffer. You can say what you want about him being really good at basketball in real life or not. He's not really good at real life basketball, but over 5.5 assists projects out really well in our tool as well. Might take that out because I'm not going to be looking too much at these shots on goal. However, OddsShopper has been smashing the shot on goal market at the books. You want to be doing that on a daily basis. I know Greg Ehrenberg's been playing a lot of those lately too, and just singing the praises of it. So even if you don't know anything about hockey, you could blindly play those and find a positive ROI.
I just went, by the way, over to, we'll hit you up with the No House Advantage one before we get out of here as well. But to your point, I just went over to the OddsShopper shop bets, the all bets, and I sorted by the NHL. And you're right. You've got a couple of plus EV plays right away. McKinnon, Nathan, right? First off, McKinnon with minus 102 odds to score a goal. You've got Hintz, who we just threw up there as far as his shots on goal popping. You want some plus money play? How about Nick Suzuki staying under 1 point at plus 130? That's beating the market at DraftKings. So we have that. Jeff Skinner under 2.5 shots on goal is plus 110 on FanDuel. So we're giving you plus money plays that are still beating the market that are plus EV. It's not bad, man. In a sport that you don't even need to follow in order, as you mentioned, to be successful. Sure do not.
I will say also the fantasy score has been really, really soft of late over on PrizePicks. So
yeah.
if you have Stochastic, if you're signed up for that as well, if you have the premium features there, which you can get by signing up at PrizePicks, go to Josh Engelman's video, click on the video description box below, sign up at PrizePicks there. Takes all of about a minute to do. You can get yourself a month of Stochastic. You can literally get all of the projections for it. You're looking cross-reference. I was just doing a couple of them here with our FanDuel projections because that's the scoring output over there. James Wiseman, 30.5 fantasy score, the very first player listed there, about a 2 fantasy point difference there. And wow. I got to feel pretty good about Wiseman today in this spot where he's going to be playing more of the center minutes than Duran. They brought him in. They have equity now in having James Wiseman involved on that team. Oh, and everybody is out from both sides. And he gets a matchup with like Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith. So James Wiseman there, 30.5 fantasy score, stuff like that. Just being able to cross-reference it instantly. In addition, with the PrizePicks tool, really great stuff. Put together a lot of cards.
By the way, Carlton looks like has moved on and knocked off.
He beat Costanza.
Yeah.
Wow.
And look, I don't have any issue.
We needed that upset. We needed it. We got it.
Yeah.
So now that's a fun matchup here coming up.
I'm going to use the Kudrow logic, okay? Because Will Smith's finest moment ever, outside of I think I could beat Mike Tyson, was the Fresh Prince. I mean, it's just it will never be duplicated. The show, the degrees, the levels of that show, it was far beyond just a comedy, and resonated with a huge amount of people that in this country, right? It was iconic. Carlton was able to stand out like Kudrow on his own and create a persona that was not dependent on Will Smith. Now, they worked off each other fantastic, but I think that was part of the genius of Alfonso Ribeiro's character, much like Lisa Kudrow's character.
Yeah, it's very true. The dance, man, the Carlton dance. He goes and plays at every pro-am at Pebble Beach. And what does everybody have him do? The dance. Like that alone should beat anything from Seinfeld.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. We threw the NBA parlay out, Mr. Sparkle. I don't know if we have a screenshot of that, but we'll come back to that if we do, and shame on us. But here's what I would say we'll get through the final four here. Kramer, Dwight, Kudrow, Carlton. I smell an upset on one of these sides here.
Yeah, I feel like the it's not the Ari Gold side, that's the left side. I feel like the Barney Stinson bracket. I see an upset coming too.
I could see that.
I think we've kind of spoken Carlton into existence here.
I can see that. All right, let's hit no house advantage. We'll do the same thing we just did with PrizePicks, because NHA, you're going to have an opportunity, and this stands out here, and you can sign up. We each have codes, so why don't we use the generic one, which is stochastic, all right? If you want to use, what's yours? Mine's Eytan. What's yours? Lindquist?
Lindy.
Lindy?
Lindy. Yep.
Right. Now, don't be going out here, 100 people signing up for Lindy, all right? I already had to check Eric for stealing my signups on a weekend video.
All me.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I'm Eytan. I only have value from selling stuff.
That's right. I don't have value for my content. That's for sure. Have you met me before? Are we new?
I love you so much.
All right. Here's the difference.
You crazy bastard.
Lindquist is smashing on PrizePicks, so earmuffs on this one, okay? No house advantage allows you to go one more X on that 5-leg parlay. PrizePicks giving you the 20X, no house advantage giving you 21X. Hey, that 1X is big. It's a difference maker. And much like we have on PrizePicks for this tool, we have one that is specifically designed for no house advantage. So again, it is pulling and matching with the market. It's using the built-in juice or VIG for NHA like it did for PrizePicks, and it's finding plays that make sense across the market, and it's giving you 5. There you have it. That's it. This is your 5-leg 21. You didn't need me or Eric or anybody else. Josh didn't need to jump in here. Nobody else needed to do anything. Mike just gave you the tool. Mike's the most important person on this show. You know that, right?
It's a fact.
Being able to screenshot what the tool is telling us. Way more important than us.
Yep. I have nothing to add because, again, it is going to give you better plays than just about any other process on the planet. Like we're talking about, if you want to be successful on no house advantage or PrizePicks, you need to identify the best plays every single day, and you need to routinely play them. And just because you lost 5 days in a row on a 5-pick card doesn't mean that you put together bad plays. And just because you win a card on a specific day doesn't mean that you're making good plays. You're trying to routinely win money over a long period of time. And that's what this tool has proven to do. Again, it is back tested. Expected win percentage is put together. Expected ROI. We are trying to identify the best plays. And just because something goes 1-5 one day or 2-5 one day doesn't make it less valuable, because eventually, over a long period of time, it's proven to be successful. So yeah, we've got Butler, Sabonis, Brown, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Allen. I will say, it seems like there's a couple of 58, 59ers on PrizePicks today, as opposed to no house advantage. They have a couple more efficient props. I know PrizePicks has more props to comb through. That way you can generally find more inefficient props. I know sometimes the free throw market can be inefficient. The fantasy score market can be inefficient. But over on no house advantage, a couple of props that look like they might be a little bit more difficult to beat. But because of the payout structure, because you're getting 20X on the 5, we're seeing a higher expected ROI when you put together different combinations.
You know, it really is that easy as you laid it out. I was listening to you, explain that, to where all you really need to do is just continue to identify. In this case, you don't even have the ROI. What's put out there is plus EV. So love the fact that we can just go to these tools. You can go to these tools. We'll give you a week free below just for signing up. That's that easy. It's that simple. And we'll go from there. All right, we have a result on the Ari Gold bracket. All right, real quick, though, okay? Take a minute, take 90 seconds, take 2 minutes. It's your world. I've got one that I want to get out as well. You have to have a play in the NBA tonight that you really love. Doesn't have to be plus 500, doesn't have to be plus $1 million, whatever. Just any play. It could be minus 155. I don't care. But there has to be something that has been singing to the Eric Lindquist heart all day today.
What? Did you start to sing?
No, I'm just I'm giving you a violin so you can sing.
Oh, you normally give me the world's smallest violin and you make fun of me and call me a whiny little SOB.
This wasn't that small. This was me playing.
Okay. Well, I mean, the community, I gave them Memphis. I don't know what more do you want from me? Well, I mean, if you want to talk an under too, I like the under of that Phoenix game as well. If we want to throw that into the mix, that was the other one that was hanging on. That was from the video though last night, so I don't know if I want to necessarily like retread everything in that direction. I'll throw this one in because I find this to be pretty fascinating. Derek White under 15.5 points. It's minus 118. Again, that's minus 115 generally everywhere. I'm going to be playing that a lot on PrizePicks today. We talk about the unders and we talk about how many guys are healthy here. Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench. Marcus Smart, he's been playing like 36 minutes routinely here of late. And it's so weird when you see 18 and 21. The last two game bros are not going to be happy with this kind of a play. But against Houston, there is such minutes downside for a guy like Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. You have Brogdon, Smart, Horford playing a lot of big minutes there as well. It's just an exponentially healthier basketball team, and they don't need to necessarily have everybody out there playing giga minutes here tonight. So I'm feeling Derek White under 15.5. I know that that's something that isn't necessarily popping as much, but it's a play that I'm routinely shuffling through a lot of my PrizePicks cards tonight.
I like it, man. I absolutely like it. PrizePicks, you hit the books on that as well. We'll get to the community parlay before we get out of here, but one that I'll throw in that's not on the community parlay for me. I got this at 226. I feel pretty good about it going over. I know nobody's playing, which is why I love going over in that Pistons-Pacers game.
Pistons-Pacers. Yeah. Defense will be optional. Also, scoring might be optional too.
You're right, but I'll defer to scoring. If it's bad scoring versus bad defense, I'll defer to bad scoring on two bad.
Well, you have James Wiseman who's going to play 28 minutes. Yes, bad defense will be available.
Beautiful. I love it. Over 226 for me for Detroit. This isn't parlay. This is just throwing some extra stuff out there for you.
It's a party.
Jimmy Butler has risen on our shop bets tool, by the way. His under 6.5 rebounds is now a 6% positive XROI smash at BetMGM. You can lay minus 125 for that. So the tool has identified this now as the top individual player prop that we have available for you. And someone on the chat referenced this. I wanted to come back to this because we talked about De'Aaron Fox dipping on the parlay builder. He's back up now to 3%. So that's how quick and fast and volatile the market moves. It doesn't have to be a Silicon Valley Bank thing going on with that level of caving for the market. The market's going to fluctuate. All right.
It's fair.
Now, what's your TBD?
What's my TBD? Oh, so we're going over to the community parlay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to get this out for the people.
Okay. So I am absolutely, let me find it here. I'm in love with the under, the total. I want to just make sure I have the updated number for Phoenix and Golden State. Oh, God, it's all the way down to 235.5. It was 239.5 last night. I slammed the under of that. That is some nice value. I know you're not part of the closing line value bros, but I am definitely a part of their allegiance. And 239.5 was the under there. I still like the under of 236. It's not as good as what it was before. Obviously, we're talking a 3.5, 4-point difference. Do I want to go that? Do I want to go that direction?
The under?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do THT over 5.5 assists. That's the one that I want.
Okay.
Let me make sure I've got the updated number of that because that became my go-to parlay piece.
As long as it's minus 110, that's fine, right?
Yeah, let me find it here quick.
That's fine. Okay.
So their assist over 5.5 is minus 125 on Bet Rivers.
Okay. We're down to the final.
I don't have Bet Rivers, but I'm going to find a book akin to it here quick.
Dwight Schrute versus Carlton Banks for the title of Best Supporting Actor of all time.
Wow.
Josh Engelman is hurt. That Lisa Kudrow
Carlton just smashed Kudrow's face in. That was not even remotely close.
No.
So we got Carlton. Oh, this is going to be fun. So this will be a fun one.
Here's the thing. I voted for Carlton because I don't think Dwight Schrute is the best supporting actor on the show that he's on, let alone of all time.
See, I get bashed though for my seeding. 4 versus 6. This is fun. We have some upsets.
How a tournament should be. All right.
I know. Let's get weird. Let's go Iowa State. Let's go Duke. I want that 6-5 matchup. Let's go.
I don't know. Duke is not any of the people that we mentioned here.
When's Villanova playing, Eytan?
They're not. No City 6 school. Penn State is. Can I claim them?
Temple?
Can I
Temple?
claim Princeton?
I don't think they're playing basketball.
People that went to Temple don't know that they have a basketball program. Stop. All right? Stop.
Marcus Camby season.
Hartford.
He was UMass. That's my bad.
Yeah. Hartford, though. That's where he's from. West
Same
Hartford.
colors. Yeah, same colors.
News God knows about that. CT in the house. All right. Let's look at the final. This is it, right? The final vote.
Dwight and Carlton. Why am I getting yourself bad? No, I was trying to mix up the seating. I wanted it to be interesting. And again, Seinfeld, I thought for Seinfeld not to advance, I'm just happy that people are on board with me because I seeded it based on what I thought other people might find to be a little bit more enjoyable. I'm glad Seinfeld got ejected on both sides of the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, look, it deserves to be in conversation by all means. Was there a show? Let's look back here, all right? And we'll hit you with a top player, too, before we get out on the tool. Was there a show that we left out, right? Like, what's the show that should have been brought up with the support? And I'm not talking about Ari Gold, all right? Get that shit out of here. I'm just talking, all right, Everybody Loves Raymond. Now, Josh, see, that's it. I love it. The big dude, right? What's his name? The brother. Iconic.
Not Ray Romano, the other guy.
Yeah.
He's got the deep voice.
Brad Garrett, right? Who doesn't sound like that in real life, of course. But that guy, iconic. All right. I'll give you that. The mom, you could argue the mom, actually, to be honest, for Everyone Loves Raymond. See, that's where I'm at with Dwight Schrute, which is Jim from The Office is funnier. Like the mom is funnier than the brother, but I think you can go either way. I'll give you that. Brad Garrett.
2.5 Men. But the problem is everybody's like a lead on that show. Like the nanny was hilarious on 2.5 Men.
You'd have to go
picking up after Charlie all the time.
Right. You'd have to go the kid.
Yeah, and he's not that good.
No, I'm with you. He really isn't.
He was serviceable, but like, I mean, John Cryer was incredible on that show.
Yeah, Sheldon is the star of that Brainiac show.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, but he's definitely starred. I thought about Kaylee Cuoco, but you can't really go there either because she's like the only female lead on that show.
All right, Mike's going to put the community parlay back up here. Looks like Carlton.
Dwight edges out Carlton for the dub. Wow.
I am surprised.
Every vote counts right there. 3%. That's like a 2-vote difference there. Wow.
Unbelievable. By the way, normally we give stuff out for good chat. We may have to. Nah, you know what? That's fine. Here's the thing. That's at plus 518, the community parlay.
That's pretty good. I'm here for that.
Play it. The last time Eric Lindquist and I got together on the OddsShop show, what happened, Eric?
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 of 3. We're 2 of 3. If we hit 2 of 3, if we hit 66% of these going forward, this is the only show you need to be watching ever because it'll be a W. And it pisses off Josh Engelman that we're doing bad seating and everything else. So it's kind of exactly what we wanted.
I'll give Josh another one too. Frazier is on point, but you have to go the dad. The dad was such a departure from the two sons, and he could stand alone and carry his own segments. I would definitely go the dad from Frazier or the dog.
Fair. Or the dog. That's good stuff.
Appreciate you rolling with us here. Mike, if you want to show them anything on the way out, it's your world. We can go back to the top plays, the community parlay, what you did, just to give people another idea of how this tool works. We'll get the hell out of here. Let you enjoy your night. Appreciate. We'll be here Monday through Friday, as always, 4:00 Eastern. Lindquist on Twitter, at Eric Lindquist, at Shander Show for me. Thanks to Mike, of course, as always, for producing. You want to hit the thumbs up, subscribe on the way out. We love you for it, but really, we want you to take advantage of this free week using the tool. Anything you have on the way out, brother? Oh, no. Kyle Westmoreland, 500 to 1. Take him top 40.
I was trying to figure out why you had Kyle Westmoreland behind you the whole time.
40.
The only reason I know what he looks like is he had a hole-in-one at Torrey Pines, and that was the only clip that exists on planet Earth from him. Is that the only thing you know him from, too?
No, I know that he's top 5 in the field in par 5 scoring coming into this event, and that's pretty key with an extra par 5 on this tour, or this event at the Valspar.
Gary Woodland.
Oh, we talked about him on Putting for Dough, my friend. That's on the OddsShopper Golf channel. You can see Eric on there, too.